And again, we get a glimpse here of real life locations from GTA 6 and in real life Miami. Real quick, if you want to cut away from my laptop, I want to showcase a side-by-side comparison that we have of this real life location.
So this is based on the Clevelander Hotel that's in South Beach, and it is kind of crazy how like 1-to-1 the replica is. You can see in the trailer.
You can pull it up now on my laptop.
There's like this sort of curvature there on the wall to the right. You can see the
where they were dancing in that trailer is right over here.
Yeah, and there's several rooftops that the dancers are on top of. There's that sort of like neon lighting on the left side that you see a little glimpse of as well in the trailer. It's kind of crazy to bring these elements of real life into the game. I know GTA 5 did a fantastic job of doing that for LA, so it's cool to see that also happening now for Miami as well.
Yeah. Now every time you have an LA local who goes to Miami, they can now local Miami people can take people on the GTA Vice City tour.
I can finally get that experience I've given so many people coming to LA.
And again, we see aspect of the strip club again. And this one, you actually called out something pretty interesting. We see our first glimpse of a returning business to the GTA world, Ammu-Nation here. But this is Phil's Ammu-Nation.
Yeah, so it makes me wonder, are all the stores not just going to be this copy and paste Ammu-Nation, whatever? Are they going to be named and feel more bespoke?
Yeah, they have like the franchise owner attached to each one. I love that idea. Also, if you go just a little bit further back, you'll see some Easter eggs to the sort of like gamer side as well. You can see the almost like a DualShock 4 there in the foreground. You see like we can only assume their version of a PS5 right next to the sort of TV console. And one other thing I want to call out, I know we talked about the water physics already, but the bubbling on the beer that's in the foreground, you can see each individual bubble rising up. Oh my God, it's so cool.
It's got to be in-engine too, because Red Dead Redemption 2, I believe all of its cutscenes were in-engine. Again, we get a glimpse of all the locales that we're going to be visiting throughout Vice City. We see a little bit of a mission, and again, it just seems like at the end of every mission, we're going to see this blossoming romance between Jason and Lucia. Yeah. That honestly has me really compelled, but it is evocative of Bonnie and Clyde in a way that makes me wonder. I mean, things didn't end too well for Bonnie and Clyde, so I'm very curious to see how things end for Jason and Lucia, especially knowing that GTA endgame states always have a level of choice. The player is, whose fate you get to determine. So I'm curious to see if GTA 6 continues that series tradition of who to save, who to kill, and things of that nature.
Yeah, this is also possibly my favorite character from that was introduced in this trailer. This is Cal.
His name's Cal. Yeah, tell me a little bit about him. We learn more about him from the Rockstar Games website.
Yeah, so he's a conspiracy theorist. He's very much like I don't know, just seems like like the sort of like guy in the chair for lack of a better term. I love his tattoos. You see a little bit better images of him in the website. He says there are way too many birds flying around in perfect formation.
The birds aren't real.
Exactly. That's sort of evocative of that conspiracy. But if you look at his tattoos on his arm, one of them says "Do not resuscitate." He has
definitely not an organ donor.
he has a fish with sort of like the different cuts. With like if you see right there on the hand that's holding the beer bottle, you can sort of see like the different cuts of the fish and what's good to eat versus what's not good to eat. And then in a different still for the downloadable press kit, he has a tattoo on his on his bicep that is an alien taking off like a human mask. So kind of like shows you how that one right there where he's in the pool, you can see in much better detail the tattoo sleeve.
I'm curious. I'm curious if it's the same alien from GTA 5, but what you were saying?
He also has a t-shirt on in one of the stills that says, violence is cool, thanks to video games.
Yeah, I want that shirt so bad.
The best Grand Theft Auto merch ever. Please.
Rockstar Games, if you're listening, make that t-shirt available.
One last detail here for this sleeve is on sort of like his pec. He has a what looks like almost like a toilet feeding into somebody's this like tattoo face's mouth. It says the whole truth. So again, still very much like leading into that sort of conspiracy theory, like going a little bit deeper from what meets the eye.
Yeah, one thing that stands out to me in particular, like let's talk a little bit about the conspiracy theory aspect of it, because the Mount Chiliad mystery was one of my favorite parts of the GTA 5 community is the idea that there's aliens, there's deep sea mystery, and it all ties into whether or not a jetpack exists and things like that. Like it's this level of like ARG that is equal parts in the game and not in the game, and it's the community working together to figure out. I know a lot of people have different takes on how it unfolded in GTA 5, but according to the Rockstar Games website, in what's the Everglades stand in for this?
Grassrivers?
The Grassrivers, and then Mount
Kalaga. Mount
Kalaga
National Park.
They are both evoking that same like there is mysteries to discover in this game, which is partly why we love Rockstar games, because there is so much to find and so much to sink your teeth into. And I honestly cannot wait to see everything that players find over time. Like, I'm going to have my own playthrough, but there's going to be the subreddit that's playing through. There's going to be a Mount Kalaga mystery, I'm sure. There's going to be a Grassrivers mystery, and people just finding weird stuff in the world, which is one of my favorite parts of GTA 6. But now that we've come to the end of this trailer, what's your general take, Alan? Starting with you, how did you feel about it?
I honestly, at the beginning of the week, last week, at the end of the week on Friday, when it was announced that this game was delayed, I was like, oh man,
it was a bummer.
I was like, are we cooked? Like, can this game really like survive that extra year of waiting?
But
obviously,
what's the Miyamoto line? A delayed game is eventually good, but a quick release game is forever bad, or something like that.
Exactly. I think that's definitely something to be said. I know Rockstar puts incredible amount of care and love into each of these games. You can clearly see that in this trailer. I know people were like, "Oh man, like, let's at least get screenshots. That's the least they could do when they delayed it." And I hope that everybody that said that is happy, because I certainly am.
Rockstar said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, this is
hold my Deho.
No pun intended. This is a Rockstar of a trailer too. I think it made us ask a ton of questions. It's getting me hyped for all these different like theories that are coming up. I know a lot of from the trailer one was just kind of like, vignettes into like, oh hey, here's a Florida man, fighting an alligator in his pool. Here's the Florida Joker. This feels like it's a lot more of a glimpse into the narrative of the game, which is exactly what I wanted.
And real quick, before we get to you, Nick, I just wanted to reiterate that we're still going to take a look at some locations that weren't in the trailer. But real quick, what was your take on the trailer?
Yeah, so Grand Theft Auto 5 is my favorite game almost of all time. Mm-hmm. It's in the top 3. With the first trailer for GTA 6, it was like, okay, this looks cool, but we didn't really see anything. And then when the delay came, I was like, oh no, that's not good. Mm-hmm. And then this trailer came out and it's shown so much. I'm going to watch it. I think I've watched it 25 times already this morning. I'm going to watch it 25 more times. I am so excited. I am so ready. What is it, 300 and almost 400 days from now when the game comes out?
A little over a year, because it is currently May 6th.
So it's a year and 20 days.
A year and 20 days, folks. Hang in there.
385 days to go. And can't come soon enough.
One last thing that I want to call out, and this is my theory. I know Nick had his theory about being an undercover cop. There are two different stills. Mm-hmm. Or I guess one is in the trailer. It's at let me see if I can pull up the time code.
Again, put on your Mount Chiliad mystery aluminum hats here. This is pure, full-blown conspiracy from Alan. So Alan,
when he punches the register, when he's doing the first sort of like strong arming of somebody,
right?
His watch says 11:08 right there.
Okay, hold on.
And if you zoom in, you can see it.
Enhance, computer. Enhance. I do see 11:08.
Yeah.
So let me see.
And then,
I don't know if this will let me. I don't want to zoom in because we're using my laptop. But you can see 11:08.
So
I can confirm.
And then there's another still. This is from the press kit.
All right.
It's one of the real dimes photos. It's them on a car.
So and there's the real dimes on a car. I'm not sure if you have that still pulled up.
Let me send it here. So,
but what is the theory that we see here? There's another still.
There's a cell phone in the foreground that's a little bit blurry. It could be 11:05. I think it's 11:08.
So that cell phone that you see in the bottom right corner, conspiracy theory, you think it's 1108. What do the numbers mean, Mason?
What do they mean? What do they mean, Jason? So my theory is that this is sort of like, you know how they had like the whole theory of like, oh, like the placement of the moon aligns with this thing. Yep. I know it's a bit of a stretch. A lot of other parts of the trailer have watches that aren't this time, but 1108 seems like it's in at least two things. So I'm throwing my hat out there. Maybe trailer 3, 1108.
Ooh.
So you're calling your shot right now. You have the entire internet watching.
It could be
and
wrong.
You're gonna say November 8th for GTA trailer 3.
I would love it if it happened, and I will call it if it's true. If it's not, it's just a theory.
It is just a theory. Again, a conspiracy theory. Oh, wait, is there still another conspiracy theory? Are we okay to remove our conspiracy hat?
We're going to remove it.
Okay.
The hats are coming off. The Mount Chiliad mystery continues. But let's talk a little bit about locations that weren't in the trailer. We got a bunch of stills. Let's start off with the city itself, Vice City. Vice City is described as the glamour and hustle and greed of America distilled down to a single city. Each neighborhood was something new to offer, from pastel art, deco hotels, bright white sands of Ocean Beach, the bustling paneria of Little Cuba, bootleg brands of Tishawaka Flea Market, out to the VC port, the cruise ship capital of the world. So it just seems like we're going to see not only a lot of Vice City locals and Leonida locals, but also tourists overseas. You know, I couldn't think of a more interesting hub of just general different people. And from what we saw of the original trailer and this trailer, there's just a whole bunch of different NPC body types that we've never really seen, that I don't think were possible, frankly, in previous GTA. So I'm very pumped for that.
Yeah, the fifth still for the Vice City section, I think, is really funny because it kind of is reminiscent of that trailer 1.
We see people on the beach kind of lounging, if you can pull that up.
Yeah.
Again, feel free to cycle between all the images for each location. We're going to do our best. We're just, we're kicking our feet up. We're real casual about it all here at GTFM. But we see another glimpse of different body types that are available in GTA 6, which is just interesting from a dynamic player interaction standpoint. I'm hoping we see something similar to what we did with Red Dead Redemption 2's like intimidation or like greeting aspect, where you can, based on how you use different button prompts, your main character could interact with an NPC in a very different way and sometimes get them to start a fight with you, start a gunfight, or you intimidate them and scare them away.
Yeah.
I mean, bringing back to like the body types and stuff like that, throughout the whole trailer, every time we see Jason, if he didn't have a buzzed hair, he had a different haircut, different beard. I'm hoping that they brought the like hair growth mechanics from Red Dead over here, and then you can have just, eventually just a crazy looking guy with like the biggest beard ever.
I mean, again, we've seen like people working out in a way that makes me think that like a changing body type, the way Arthur Morgan could change body type based on how much you ate and based on how much you ran, whether or not you drank hair growth tonics. Yep. Like, I'm curious to see what GTA 6 hair growth tonic is, because they've already said on the website that there are gas stations that you can get energy drinks from. Yeah. So maybe that's just one way you can affect your body type. But let's move on to the next location, which is the Leonida Keys. Again, this is the tropical archipelago. The website says to get your buzz on and pull up a deck chair, but be careful because these beautiful waters are also deadly.
Yeah. This bridge, I sincerely, I hope that crate like theft, the reminiscent of Fast 5. I really wanted to go above this bridge because it just seems like that would be such a spectacle of like, there's like planes, helicopters chasing after you, tons of cop cars, and you have to like sort of keep it within the lines for this thing, or else you might get pulled into the water.
We also see stills of deep sea diving. You can actually go underwater and explore. It looks like a fully functioning flora and fauna that is both above ground and below ground. I'm hoping that we see something similar to Red Dead Redemption 2's like prey and predator system, where there's a full-on ecosystem of animal interactivity. And again, maybe there's a world where we can collect animals and add them to our terrarium, to our aquarium. That'd be really cool, except for turtles. You're not supposed to do that, I've been told. I know we are kind of nearing our end here, but I got to speed run the rest of these locations because I got to talk about them. Grassrivers is the one that I'm most excited about. This is the Florida Everglades stand-in, full of mangroves, deadly predators, and weirder discoveries. Immediately I'm thinking of Is this the new Chiliad? The website describes it as a primordial expanse. Maybe there's dinosaur bones, or maybe some weird bones that we don't even know about. Very curious. What's your guys' take on the river, the Grass Rivers?
So Cal does have some dinosaur tattoos on his forearm as well. So that might be a
There
nod.
were dino bones in Red Dead Redemption 2 as well to discover.
I would definitely not be surprised if that's one of the things that you can find in this area. I'm very excited to check it out.
A big swamp monster or something like that. There's
dude,
gonna be something there.
The new Bigfoot, is it the swamp monster, the swamp thing in GTA 6?
I like that. I like that.
We also have Port Gellhorn, which is, this idea of the state that is kind of faded away. It used to be like a tourist attraction that is now kind of dying down. It's described as cheap hotels, shut down attractions, empty strip malls fueled by malt liquor, painkillers, and truck stop energy drinks. Jump on a dirt bike and hold on to your wallet. This is evoking like the northern part of GTA 5's map where Trevor's from. Yep. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from Port Gellhorn here.
100%.
Yep.
Additionally, we have Ambrosia, heart of the state, American industry and old school values reign supreme. The Allied Crystal Sugar Refinery provides jobs, while the local biker gang provides almost everything else. So again, very Lost and the Damned evoking here. I believe this is a different biker gang than what we saw in something like GTA 4 and GTA 5, even though we got a little bit of the glimpse of the Damned. But very curious to see potential new storylines. I believe this guy's hat right here, this biker, says Liberty City Cycles.
It does.
So that's pretty interesting. Again, just that connectivity from game to game, which I really appreciate. And curious to see whether or not you can side with different factions potentially in this game. They all seem to have like their own kind of calling card to some extent that is evocative of something like Night City's street gangs that we saw in Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, the next still in this set as well kind of shows a field that like has some fires lit in it too. So I wonder if there's like some environmental destruction. It's the one with the power lines sort of going throughout. It looks like a sunset. That one right there.
Yeah, I mean,
there's like different fires in the crops there. So
we do know that crop rotation via fire is like a very real thing that I'm sure a bunch of farmers in our chat right now are shouting at me that I know nothing about. I just know that that's a thing. So I'm curious to see if dynamic weather and dynamic events initiated by NPCs are something that Jason and Lucia might have to deal with. Which is part of the fun of GTA. And the last location shown on the website is another one that has my Mount Chiliad hat coming back on. It's the Mount Kalaga National Park, a national landmark on the northern state border of Leonida that offers prime hunting, fishing, and off-road trails surrounded by backwoods, hillbilly mystics, and paranoid radicals who live far from the prying eyes of the government. I'm saying Mount Chiliad is back and better than ever, baby. And this time, I think we get a beautiful mountainscape and also the Grass River, which I'm very stoked for.
I'm so excited for that. I wanna take a dirt bike and just go all over the place in this location. It looks so fun. I know we got some glimpses of it in the first trailer as well, where you sort of see like people in like the ATVs and like the all-terrain pickup trucks. Like this is where I'm gonna spend so much of my time in this game. I'm so excited.
We see a lot of the NPCs too sporting weaponry as well, not only in this Mount Kalaga location, but also in Port Gellhorn. So like it seems like in general, there's going to be a lot more NPCs packing heat and some serious firearms too from what we saw with like Port Gellhorn and assumedly Ambrosia as well. So very curious. Final thoughts on locations. It seems like you're very excited about Mount Kalaga. Is that your standout?
Yes, 100%.
Nick, what about you?
I can't wait to get back into Vice City proper.
Vice City?
It looks so cool. It looks like a big playground, and it looks like you're just going to get... Every screenshot we've seen of any area is so dense, and it just looks like it's going to be a fun playground.
For me, it's got to be the Grass Rivers. There was a still and a shot from the trailer where we saw the cops chasing someone just through like the marsh and the grasslands and the Everglades among the mangroves. It's such a cool, like, humid vibe. Like I can feel that screenshot, and it's just something that I think really distills what makes this tropical setting so interesting to me, because we haven't really had a chance to have that level of dynamic interaction in the maps. In GTA 5, everything felt so separate from each other, whether it be in the ocean or land or in the mountains. I'm hoping that there is some more like interactivity between locations, but there you have it, everyone. That was a shotgun blast of GTA 6 details for us to obsess over. Hopefully not for another year in 20 days. I'm hoping Rockstar decides to drip feed us some more material, but before we go, I wanted to plug something real quick. IGN's in-person fan event, IGN Live, is coming to downtown Los Angeles on June 7th and 8th. It's almost here. 1 month away, baby. Come hang out with us in downtown LA at the Magic Box at the Reef for an exciting live show all weekend long. We'll have exclusive reveals, interviews on stage with celebrities and your favorite people in the games industry, playable gaming stations all over the floor, tons of giveaways and prizes, panels, IGN merch, and so much more. I'm running out of breath. You can expect to see Xbox, Netflix, Arcade 1-Up, 2K Sports, Rick and Morty, IDW Publishing, and so many others I am not allowed to talk about because my bosses will be very mad at me if I do. So make sure to head on over to IGN.com/live to grab your tickets and use code GTFM for a special discount. And again, before we go, you want more GTA 6. We all want more GTA 6.
do. Yes.
So make sure to keep it locked here on IGN all day long. I'm assuming all month long because we've got a ton of GTA 6 coverage coming for you. I know we have a daily fix, and I'm assuming we have an adaptation of that 89 details from the GTA 6 trailer 2. So do not miss out and don't leave IGN. What are you doing? But from the rest of us here at GTFM, thank you so much. And once again, GTFM.
We'll see you on the next one.